Imagine yourself going over the edge of the world and peering over the rim into the fathomless chaos of the eternal night. It's a scary thought, yeah? Welcome back, guys. It's Motion Recaps again, and today we're going to be covering the 2018 science fiction movie, Aniara. Spoilers ahead. Here we go. Sometime in the future, Earth becomes uninhabitable. A woman works on board the Aniara, a luxurious spaceship that takes passengers from Earth to Mars in 3 weeks. Her job involves working as a Meme Robe within the Meme, a machine that calms users down by giving them an illusion of a comfortable place from their memories. In the first week of Aniara's voyage, the ship suddenly veers off course to avoid a collision with space debris. The ship loses all of its fuel, and it's destined to float through space in one direction. The ship's captain tells everyone that they will be back on course as soon as they find a celestial body and use its gravity to turn around. Later that night, the ship's astronomer reveals to the Meme Robe that the captain lied and that there's no possibility of resuming their course. Now, before I continue course on this recap, please take a moment right now and consider subscribing to this channel, liking this video if you're enjoying this recap thus far, and on top of that, hitting that bell icon to be notified of when we have another movie recap ready for you. But for now, the course has been laid in. Let's carry on with this recap. In the not-so-distant future, natural disasters and sea level rises have ravaged the Earth, making it uninhabitable. A lot of Earth's population lives on Mars now. Our protagonist is traveling with a new batch of people from Earth on a transport ship named Aniara, which will take them to Mars. After she arrives in Aniara, she goes to a room where the AI called Meme is located. She made Meme, and she works there as a Meme Robe. Meme is an AI machine that's designed to evoke viewers' experiences of Earth's lush nature by reading their memories and emotions. The Meme Robe turns Meme on, and her mind gets transported to a beautiful forest on Earth. The Meme Robe then gets to her room to hit the sack when she finds out that she has a new roommate, a woman who works as an astronomer on Aniara. The next day, the Meme Robe starts her workday, and she has just a few customers. She instructs them what to do, and she turns Meme on. Suddenly, an entire ship trembles, and the Meme Robe goes to check out what's happening. People are a little shocked, but everything turns all right as soon as the ship stabilizes. Everyone then gets notified that the ship's captain, Captain Chiffon, will hold an important announcement that'll be broadcast to all audiovisual devices. Chiffon informs everyone that the ship suddenly veered off course to avoid a collision with space debris. However, some of the debris pierced the hull and damaged the ship's nuclear reactor. That set off an imminent meltdown and forced the crew to eject all of the ship's fuel. Now the crew cannot move the ship from its current course, but the captain assures everyone that the crew will turn the ship around when they come across the next celestial body by using its gravitational field. People are relieved at first, but then Chiffon announces that they will need 2 years to come across the next celestial body. After that, Chiffon holds a meeting, and he finds out that they only have enough food on Aniara for 2 months. After that, everyone will only eat algae that's produced on the ship. 3 weeks pass, and people on the ship are doing their very best to live their lives as normally as possible. The Meme Robe is getting more and more visitors because everyone is trying to cope with the fact that they'll be stuck in Aniara for 2 more years. After the work, she asks the crewman if the captain can find somebody that will help her with the Meme because every day more and more people are coming to use it. That night, the Meme Robe goes for a swim because she can't sleep, and there she sees a pilot named Isagel suffering from the same issue. The Meme Robe tries to talk with her, but Isagel acts like she isn't interested in talking. The Meme Robe goes back to her room, and she finds out from the astronomer that there is no celestial body on their route. The astronomer did all the observations and calculations, and she is assured that they will roam through space forever. That fact disturbs the Meme Robe, and she immediately goes to Meme to brush away the shock and fear. The next day, the Meme Robe finds an enraged man in front of Meme. One of the staff members translates to the Meme Robe that the man heard from the astronomer that there is no celestial body and that they are doomed. The Meme Robe puts him in Meme with the help from the staff, and then she visits Captain Chiffon. She explains to the captain how Meme works, and she asks him if he can assign her some people to help. Chiffon tells the Meme Robe that he will give her 8 people to help because Meme has a great value in times like this because it will help people. The Meme Robe then accidentally reveals to Chiffon that she knows that there is no celestial body, and he tells her that he will reveal that to the people when they get used to living on the ship. 3 years pass, and we see the Meme Robe in a club, and she's having a good time. She hooks up with a random guy, and she starts to make out with him. Isagel sees them. The Meme Robe and the guy go to the Meme Robe's room to have sex, but suddenly she dresses up and goes to Meme, where she finds Isagel. The Meme Robe tells her that there's no emotions between her and the guy that she met at the club. Isagel just smiles and walks away. The next day, the Meme Robe is using Meme, and she's enjoying nature. However, the birds start to die, and the Meme Robe gets out of the simulation. She then lets people in, and everyone gets comfy. Suddenly, the Meme Robe notices that one man is acting strange. She checks on him only to find out that he's having nightmares. She gets him out of the simulation, and after that she wakes everyone up, and she gets them out of Mima. The Meme Robe then tells Chiffon about the incident, and that Mima needs to rest because people use it too much. But Chiffon doesn't want to hear about that. He tells the Meme Robe that Mima must not stop working, because the people will get desperate if they find out. The Meme Robe gets back to Mima, and she lets other people in. Suddenly, Mima speaks, and it tells everyone that it's tired of people, and that it needs to rest because it's troubled by people's pain. Mima then destroys itself, and it devastates everyone. People then part their ways with Mima. That night, the astronomer tells the Meme Robe that Chiffon plans to arrest her for destroying Mima. At the same time, Isegel confronts Chiffon by telling him that the Meme Robe is not guilty, but he tells Isegel that he can do whatever he wants. Isegel kicks him and walks away, as Chiffon orders his men to capture him. The Meme Robe gets out of her room and she tries to escape, but eventually she gets captured and thrown away in a cell together with Isegel. Another year passes, and we find out that the suicide rate got really high. The Meme Robe gets a job as a teacher, and Isegel gets back to her old position. The two of them get a really luxurious room, and they immediately celebrate by making love under the shower. After that, the two of them go to work, and we see a newly formed cult passing through the hallway. The Meme Robe and Isegel go swimming, and then into a sauna. There, they meet their acquaintance Chabiba, who tells them that she and her friends will pay their respects to Mima, and that the Meme Robe and Isegel should come. The couple then goes to the old room where Mima was located, and they get their faces painted. Then they get naked and hold mirrors while one woman gets into the room and lies on the ground. She starts touching herself, and soon a young man comes in. He proceeds to have sex with the woman, and the entire event becomes one big orgy. Another year passes, and we can see that Isegel is pregnant. She talks with the Meme Robe about the child, and she tells her that she doesn't want to give birth to a child that'll be a prisoner on the ship. The Meme Robe tells her that they'll find the celestial body soon, and then they will be saved. The Meme Robe then goes into Mima's room, and there she studies the machine a little bit. Then she meets Chiffon at a party, and she tells him that she has a plan to make projectors that'll change the view from windows from dark space to pictures of Earth's nature. Chiffon tells her to forget the idea, because she is more needed in school. Then we see Isegel giving birth. The baby is fine, but as time passes, Isegel is slowly showing that she doesn't like her child. One day, she even tries to drown it in a pool, but a crew member shows up looking for her. Chabiba then brings the boy to the Meme Robe, and she tells her that Isegel was called to the ship's bridge because the crew found a rescue ship. The Meme Robe goes to a room where Isegel and the other crew members are. Isegel tells Chiffon that the object is too small to be a rescue ship. Chiffon assumes that it's a high-speed probe that contains fuel that can help them reroute. The Meme Robe asks Isegel when they will meet the spacecraft, and she tells her that they will make contact in 14 months. He makes an announcement, informing everyone about the recent finding, and people celebrate. The 14 months pass, and the spear-like starship appears. Aniara's crew takes it into the ship. The Meme Robe goes with other scientists to check out what they got. First, they find out that it's just an object with a lot of cosmic radiation. The Meme Robe and other scientists go to inform Chiffon about the object, and he decides not to tell the other people that there is no hope for them. One scientist tells Chiffon that the object can be turned into a radioactive fuel, and he promises Chiffon that they will find a solution. The next day, the Meme Robe is working with the other scientists when Chiffon shows up to check the situation out. Suddenly, the drunk astronomer tells Chiffon that they will die in Aniara and that the ship is their coffin. They argue and the situation escalates, so much so that Chiffon kills the astronomer. Some time passes, and we see the Meme Robe taking LSD. She's with Isegel, Chabiba, and the guy she met in the club before. Everyone is taking drugs as a coping mechanism. The Meme Robe goes with the guy to the club, and they dance. But suddenly, a bow shock hits the ship, and everything starts shaking. The Meme Robe rushes to see Isegel and the boy, and she's relieved when she finds out that both of them are alright. A lot of people die because of this sudden impact. The number of casualties is shocking. We see dozens of dead bodies. Chiffon is sitting near them, and the sadness is visible in his eyes. A few months pass, and the Meme Robe finishes her projector. However, people are not happy with it. The look in their eyes is dead and empty. They know that they will never be saved. The Meme Robe is happy because she finished her project, and she rushes to her room to see Isegel's reaction. However, the Meme Robe is horrified when she sees that Isegel killed herself. She quickly goes to check on the boy, and she finds out that Isegel killed him too. The Meme Robe screams as her heart breaks apart. 5 years later, the remaining crew members celebrate the 10th anniversary of their voyage into space. While accepting an honorary medal from Chiffon for her project, the Meme Robe notices that his wrists are bandaged from a presumed suicide attempt. In year 24 of the voyage, a few remaining survivors sit cross-legged in a dimly lit room. An unidentified woman in the group rhapsodizes about the divine power of sunlight on Earth as the ship slowly descends into final darkness. Finally, in the 5,981,407th year of its voyage, the Aniara reaches the first star in its trajectory. The movie ends there. Pretty creepy, huh? Wonder if Elon Musk has seen this movie. Or better yet, if he were on that ship, how would he have gotten them out of that situation? As always, let us know what you think in the comment section below. And if you haven't done so yet, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video. And we'll see you in our next recap, coming soon.